Ever wonder why some people just seem to consistently win while others feel like they're spinning their wheels? Well, I can tell you it's almost never about some secret formula they have that you don't. At the end of the day, it really comes down to a few core principles. So let's break down the simple but incredibly powerful shifts that separate success from staying stuck.
You know the feeling. It's Sunday night or maybe first thing Monday morning. You've got all these plans, you're ready to crush the week, and then that little voice pops in your head, I'll do it later. It feels so harmless, right? But that one tiny thought, that's the first domino to fall in a chain reaction that can totally wreck your ambitions. This quote from our source material just nails it, doesn't it? That one little delay, I'll start at 9 instead of 8. It just snowballs. Before you know it, something else comes up, then it's lunchtime and bam, your whole day is gone and your entire week is already on the back foot.
So let's be clear, this isn't just some quirky bad habit. It's a trap. It is a really destructive cycle where these tiny little postponements build up into a massive failure to get anything done. So let's look at what's actually happening under the hood when you fall into it.
This right here is the domino effect in action. The second you decide to wait, you kill your momentum. It's gone. That feeling of urgency just evaporates. And that gap between what you said you were going to do and what you actually do gets wider and wider. You're basically setting a disappointing tone for the entire week. And maybe worst of all, you're just leaving the door wide open for life's random interruptions to completely blow up your plans. Okay, but here's the kicker. This isn't just about losing some productivity or messing up your to-do list. The real cost of waiting is actually way more serious. We're talking about a genuine, measurable risk to your physical health.
The source material for this explainer uses a term that's, it's pretty shocking, honestly. They call this phenomenon Heart Attack Monday. And trust me, this is not just some catchy phrase to get your attention. It's rooted in some seriously alarming data about what we do to ourselves at the start of the week.
And here is the number that should really make you sit up and pay attention. Research cited in the source shows a staggering 20% higher risk of having a heart attack on a Monday. That's a huge jump. That stress of going back to work, of facing all those tasks you put off, it has a direct, physical, and frankly, dangerous impact on your body. And you know what's wild? This risk isn't random. It follows a clear and predictable pattern. The danger peaks on Mondays right in that 6 a.m. to noon window, which is when our body's natural rhythms are already jacking up our blood pressure. We even see these spikes during super stressful times of the year, like the holidays in December and January, or during the intense heat of July and August. It's a recurring cycle of pressure, both mental and physical. Okay, so that's the problem, and yeah, the stakes are incredibly high. So what's the solution? Where do we go from here? Well, it's not about finding some new magical productivity hack. It all starts with a fundamental shift inside you, a shift in your mindset.
The source is crystal clear on this point. 90 to 95% of success is your mindset. It's not about the plan, it's about the mental framework you bring to that plan. It's about having that right hustle, which really just means you show up, day in and day out, no matter what. I mean, just look at this. This chart puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? Think about where we spend all our energy. We obsess over that little 5%, the perfect strategy, the newest tool, the best tactic. But the real leverage, the part that actually moves the needle, is the massive 95% that is our mindset.
So what does a winning mindset actually look like in practice? Well, it's the difference between being reactive and being proactive. A reactive person has an appointment at 10 a.m. and says, I'll just do my important work after. But the proactive person, they get up an hour earlier to get it done before. They protect their consistency streak at all costs and refuse to let outside circumstances call the shots. They make adjustments, not excuses.
And this whole mindset shift, it actually goes even a level deeper. It's not just about changing how you think, it's about changing who you are. It forces you to ask a really important question. Are you a talker or are you a builder?
The talker, well, they consume. They talk a big game about what they're going to do, and they sit around waiting for motivation to magically strike. But the builder executes. They show up every single day, whether they feel like it or not. They don't just buy stuff to be entertained. They invest in opportunities that solve problems for other people.
And what's so fascinating is that the builder's goal is fundamentally different. It's not really about personal gain, not at first. It's about helping as many people as possible get what they want. And as the source material argues, that is the surest, truest path to eventually getting what you want in return.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but the real question is, how do you actually do it? How do you make that shift starting right now? Well, this last part gives you a super clear, actionable path forward. All right, here it is, your action plan. Number 1, start earlier. Stop putting off the important stuff, get it done first. Number 2, show up daily. Make your consistency absolutely non-negotiable. Protect that streak. 3, make adjustments, not breaks. When life throws you a curveball, you adapt, you adjust, but you don't quit. And finally, and this one might be the most important of all, take immediate action. Stop thinking about it and just start.
If you take only one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Success is not about having more information. It's not found in another course or another book or another video. It's about execution. It's all about acting on what you already know over and over without making excuses.
Ultimately, this whole thing comes down to a single choice that you have to make every single day. Will you act now, or will you put it off till later? Will you be a builder, or will you be a talker? The only question left is, what will you do?
Freedom ain't the weekend. It's a mindset. It's that moment you realize your time is the real currency. We don't clock out. We cash in on purpose. Welcome to Freedom Friday. With vision, Friday end with proof. I ain't built no luck, I built the truth. 17 weeks, no breaks, no flinch. Consistency, my cloth, can't tear an inch. The grind feels sacred when you know your lane. Turn struggle to syllabus, pressure to gain. I used to chase weekends, now I own my days. Design my time, redefine pay. Boss of my rhythm, freedom in sight. Every scroll I wrote got another so right. They talk hustle, but they miss the plan. Work for peace, that's the real demand. From the live to the link to the legacy taught. I ain't sold out, I sold thoughts that bought. Every small trickle now flows like rain. Freedom Friday, I broke those chains.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong all we rise.
I earn my rest cause I earn my grind. Peace ain't cheap when you bought your time. Every no I heard was a lesson taught. Every delay was a seed I bought. From comment credits to crowns of faith. Freedom Friday ain't a date, it's a state. Made discipline sexy, consistency cool. I ain't follow they trend, I rewrote the rule. Hustle, berry, sing the souls back home. While I talk numbers on the microphone. Edutainment the vibe, we built this bridge. Music meet money on the same bridge. Friday ain't weak, it's strong by design. Freedom the fruit of a disciplined mind. Celebrate now, we ain't done by far. We ain't chasing weekends, we chasing stars.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong all week now.
They say the grind don't sleep, I let peace work shift. I ain't burnt out, I refine my gift. Scroll after scroll, turn story to seed. Now faith pay interest on everything I lead. I ain't waiting on Friday to feel alive. Every day now got that freedom vibe. No clock in, no boss tone calling. Self-made CEO of my morning. Used to measure worth by the payday sums. Now I measure peace by how calm I become. From dark weeks to bright ends we grow. Freedom ain't luck, it's what we know. Built my legacy off discipline say. Now every Friday feels like heaven's pay. Hustle, bear, legendary, harmonize. Freedom Friday, we monetize the rise.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Strong all week now, watch us fly. It's Freedom Friday, we built this up. Oh
Nobody notices when a woman starts emotionally leaving, because most of the time, she doesn't leave all at once. It happens slowly.
Just give me,
one quiet night at a time.
just give me one more year.
You said that last year too.
At first, she understood the grind.
Low and light room and the
She
shoe.
believed in the
He'll
vision,
subvert the plays and growth strategies
supported the
during
late nights, defended the ambition. But eventually, the business started getting more attention than the relationship. And the dangerous part is, he thought providing was
I told you
enough.
that campaign would work.
Meanwhile, she was slowly grieving a man that was still physically standing right beside her.
I stopped competing with your ambition.
That's what people don't talk about with ambition.
Sometimes people don't cheat with another person, they cheat with ambition.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 50, day 5, and we are right at 14 minutes into today's challenge. So today marks a special landmark, I guess you would say, a special accomplishment. So let me peel back the curtain and we're going to get this started. So yes, 50 complete weeks or strongs of consistent lives. That marks 250 lives that we have done here in the Hustleverse. And I'm proud of this accomplishment. And as I said at the last, major accomplishment, just because we hit a landmark, just because we arrived at an accomplishment, it doesn't mean things stop. It doesn't mean that, hey, we finally arrived at a destination and that there's nowhere else to go. It doesn't mean that just because today is Freedom Friday, that, we don't have another Monday to look forward to. That's, if everything works out in life, right? We have to get through Saturday and Sunday, and we have to make it to actually reaching Monday, right? So, there's certain stipulations that have to be put in place. There's certain criterias. We have to be here in order to make it to that Monday, right? But a Freedom Friday, we try to celebrate our wins. We try to celebrate the things that we were able to accomplish within this particular week. And today I just wanted to, experience that freedom once again with you. I know it might be your Friday at work, your work week might be ending, but as usual, I don't want you to take this as the time where you can just sit back and fall back and, go into old bad habits. I want to make sure that you're continuing on with the good habits that we've established, the habits of showing up on a daily basis. Now, my accomplishments, they're my accomplishments. I'm proud of my accomplishments, but I'm even more so proud of the fact that I have something to present to you, something to show you, something as a leader. I can say that I actually lead by example. I don't just talk, I perform, I take action, I do what's necessary. So when I tell you about being consistent, you can't just look back at me and say, well, you're not consistent, so why should I be consistent? No, you can't say that. What you can say is, yes, you've been one of the most consistent online marketers. You've been one of the most consistent business partners. You've been one of the most consistent providers of value on a daily basis. You've been creative, you've been inspiring, you've been motivating, you've been able to provide me with knowledge and information consistently on a daily basis. So it's on me to take action. It's on me to take what it is that you've given me and turn it into something that I can actually use. Now, with that, I can say that I did my part. I'm doing my part. I'll continue to do my part. Not just because, it's a notch in my hat. It's, another representation of this hustle right here. It's just something that's just in me. But because I want to make sure that I build a community that is represented in a way that makes them feel secure enough to invite others to join us. Imagine being in a community or being in a situation where you like to party on a daily basis and you're having fun, you're partying, but it's not consistent. One day the party occurs, the next day the party, it doesn't happen. The third day, you might get the party back, but then the fourth and fifth day, the party, it doesn't happen. It doesn't show up. Now, if you're excited to be at the party and you're excited to have this type of situation to share, you're telling people about it. You're telling people that, hey, I get to show up on a daily basis to a creative, exciting party. And this is the way I live my life on a daily basis. And you can join us in this party. You want to tell people that, but you want to also be able to have a feeling of security. You want to be able to have a sense of, you know, consistency. You don't want to experience yourself showing up on Monday, everything's good, showing up on Tuesday, and everything's bad. And you experiencing that inconsistency, that'll make you hesitant to actually share that experience with anybody else because you'll know that, hey, is a chance that maybe on Tuesday, maybe on Thursday, this person isn't going to show up. The party's not going to happen. So I can't make a personal guarantee to whoever I invite to the parties that it's always going to be there. And that's one of the biggest challenges that online marketers face. So I was posed the question yesterday in one of my master classes or mastermind meetings. And the question was, who is my target audience? I shared one of my lives with one of my coaches. And I would say that my particular coach, she's great at what she does. She's a great coach. She's a great teacher. She's experienced success in this industry that we all are a part of. And the one thing is that as she stated in that meeting, she stated that I or she might not be my direct target audience. And she said that honestly. And I appreciate that honesty because she watched one of my lives and she said the first question that came to her mind is, who is his target audience? And that made me think. And I gave an answer at the time. I gave a honest answer, but it was more of a, you know, a petty type, funny type of response to it. But I wanted to, kind of reflect a little bit more on that as to who is my target audience. So within the hustleverse, we do a lot. We're builders. We're not just talkers. So first and foremost, my target audience is a group of people that want to do more than just talk. They want to take action. They want to see what their coach, mentor, leader can actually do so that they can be confident in knowing that, hey, this person actually has some skills, actually has something that they can do. They don't just talk about, being great at something, but they actually display their abilities. They display their abilities through creating products and services, through, you know, our creative apparatus, what we do here. And for my target audience, that should give them a sense of security. That should give them a sense of, yes, this person knows exactly what they are doing. And this person can teach me how to do various things. Not just because they say they can do it, but because I actually see them performing. I'm actually able to witness what it is that they're capable of doing. I see it in the intro, and then after I see it in the intro, I get to actually experience it from them, verbally. I get to hear them speak about, various concepts that I can relate to. I see them talk about, you know, affiliate marketing or digital marketing in a way that nobody else talks about it, which shows me that they have a level of creativity, but they also have a method of their own that they can pull from. And it's not just cookie cutter. It's not just something that is regurgitated from someone else. It's not just information that can be found online or in every other online video. So when I talk about my target audience, once again, it's a group of people that are diverse. It might be a small group because me personally, you know, I feel as though I'm a little different. I don't know of too many people that are exactly like me that, you know, like the same things that I do, dislike the same things that I do, and engage in the same type of activities that I engage in. So those people, my target audience, they might be a rare group. It might be a, small niche group. That's okay. Because there's so many different type of niche groups out there. There's some of the weirdest types of niche groups I've ever heard of. And you know, some of those groups are secret. Some people they wouldn't share it with you openly because, you know, it's private groups, but It's things that they probably wouldn't be comfortable sharing with anybody else. So I'm proud to be able to present to my community something that they can be proud of, something that gives them a way of breaking from the norm, breaking from the mundane, a way that they can actually be creative, they can be themselves, and they don't have to follow a specific formula that's laid out to, you know, only work for a handful of people. See, the thing that we talk about here in the Hustleverse is something that's universal. So we talk to you guys about the foundational skills that you need, which is found in this second line right here. What I consider to be the second line in the most valuable document in all of online marketing. It's found in here, the foundational skill set. Now, the foundational skill sets is something that you can actually use to apply to just about anything that you want to do, which is the point. I don't want to keep you or hold you hostage with one singular idea. I don't want you to sit and think that one particular way is the best way of doing an online business when there's hundreds of ways of doing an online business, where there's so many successful people out there, people doing things in so many ways, things that you wouldn't even imagine would actually work, but it works. It works for them. They're able to teach it to their community. And of course, just like in any situation, it's always going to be the people that are able to win in a situation and the people that aren't going to be as successful with using the same methods. That's always the case. There's always winners and losers. But that's okay. That's how the world itself works. But the great thing about what we have is that I'm not just telling you that you need to be one particular way. I'm telling you that you can be yourself. You can do all of the things that you want and that you've ever dreamed of. And within our community, it's an open space where you can actually share that information, where you can actually be proud of what it is that you have to offer. And you can actually say to yourself, this is what I have, and this is what my community, supports me in. You want to be able to say to the world, basically, that I have a place that you can come to, you can feel secure, you can feel safe in, and it welcomes you no matter where you come from, what it is that you like or love to do. And this is a place that you can actually build from. We provide the necessary skills. We provide all of the, you know, concepts, all of the tools needed, and you can have some fun while you're actually here. It's one of the main things that I wanted to accomplish with building my online business was I wanted to be able to bring back the fun factor. I wanted to be able to bring to this online industry the factor of breaking from the monotony. I've been a part of so many different, business opportunities. Everybody has a different product or service that they're selling and are promoting. But there's been a lot of times where the styles of coaching and teaching have been so similar. And it's just like, hey, if I'm a part of this community here, then there's no point in me joining another community because I know to expect that it's going to be very similar. It's going to be just about the same as that community. The teaching style is going to be similar, the same. The information is going to be the same. The visuals are going to be the same. But then it's rare to find a place where everything is just different. You get to connect with people on a human level. You get to see things that you won't see anywhere else. And that can make the difference in a lot of people's lives. See, most people who go to a 9 to 5 job, they understand that, hey, they're not any different from most other people that go to a 9 to 5 job. Yes, it might be a different type of position, but they know that, you know, they're going to experience similar things as somebody else. So if you work in a call center, whether you work in the telecommunications industry or you work in the insurance or whether you work in any other business niche that has a call center environment, you understand what goes on in the call center. So if you dislike your current call center job, more than likely you're not going to want to apply to a different company and go into their call center environment because you might be expecting the same thing. But sometimes when you find something different, when you find that, hey, you might have entered a room that you thought was going to look the same, feel the same, and sound the same as what you normally had to experience, and then you find that it's completely different, you find that it's better, that there's more excitement, then you might find that you have a new, you know, you have a new sense of excitement. You feel renewed about what it is that you're doing. Your spirit just lifts and you start to feel like, okay, I think I could do this. I think I could do this. And that's the purpose of what we have here in the Hustleverse. It's not to be like anybody else. It's not to be like any other online marketing, situation. Now, we can commingle, we can learn from those traditional style coachings, teachings, systems, and blueprints, right? But we also need to have that party situation. It's kind of like going to a university. Everybody goes to school, everybody goes to class. It's designed to teach you, and you got to go through the syllabus. You got to go through the structure of the class. It is what it is. You go from one class to another. But once when the class is over, once when that aspect of the learning process is over, everybody loves to be able to go to the after party. Everybody loves to be able to experience the listening party, so to speak. Everybody loves to be able to maybe come together and have that study session, something that's a little bit different from how they did things in class, but now you get to hang out with some members of the class and you get to do it your way. You get to, have some snacks. You get to talk about what it is that you learned for the day, but you get to do it in a different way. You get to make it your own and make it exciting. So today on Freedom Friday, I was thinking about what I wanted to do. And since my mind always goes off in so many different areas, there's so many things that I can actually pull from, so many ways that I can actually, present information. And I decided that, you know, I just wanted to take it easy. I wanted to, you know, reflect back on this accomplishment, being able to reach this point, being able to arrive here and to sit on top of this particular mountain, this mountain peak. of what I call Success Mountain, right? Knowing that there's higher peaks to reach, just like for you. You have to realize that every accomplishment is just the starting point towards a new accomplishment. And every step up the mountain of the mountain that you go, you know, sometimes you look down and you see, hey, I've come a long way. I've come a long way. But don't get distracted. Don't get dizzy. Don't, you know, look down and reflect so long about the climb and about the idea that you've reached such a high point. You're up in the clouds now. They say once when you get to a certain altitude, the air gets a little, thinner or so, thicker or thinner. The air changes. And people that have never lived in those type of environments on a, regular basis, they can't deal with that new climate. They can't deal with the way the air is. It'll have a certain effect on them because their body isn't accustomed to living in that environment. So I want you to be able to have your accomplishments, but I want you to be able to reach and strive for more, new heights. I want you to get used to it and comfortable with it and not resting once when you get there, because the higher you go, the more the air changes. But the more comfortable you get with reaching different plateaus, the more your body will be able to deal with these changes. The more your body will be able to be accustomed to all of these different altitudes. So hopefully you never fall down off of that mountain. But if you happen to fall down off of that mountain to a lower level, then you'll still be able to be comfortable at that level. But now you'll you'll have experienced a higher level. So the altitude on that lower level now becomes even easier for you to deal with. So now you can not just survive and struggle to breathe on that altitude, but now you're able to, breathe even better. You're able to be at that altitude and say, hey, I know how to navigate this, know how to optimize what I need to do at this level so that I can start back my journey to getting back up to that height that I might have, previously been at. And then once when I get there, it's time for me to take it to another level. So, what I want to do real quick for you guys is this. Seeing as though I gave my answer as to who is my target audience, I want to ask my business partner, Chat GPT, seeing as though it knows everything about me and what we do here in the Hustleverse. I want to ask it, what does it think my ideal target audience is? And bear with me one moment as I type this out to it and ask it the question, because I want to make sure that I communicate with my Chat GPT in a way that gets me the best response. And I'm basically telling it about the situation yesterday in my coaching call. And once again, like I said, I do appreciate that question because you do need perspective. You need people's feedback as to what it is that you're doing so that, of course, so that you can get better. Not necessarily so that you can change, but so that you can actually be able to identify certain things that you're doing certain types of people that you might not be attracting. And in some cases, that might be a good thing because depending on who you ask, and if they say, hey, well, that's not really my thing, then you might be saying to yourself, well, that's good because I'm not really necessarily speaking to you. So it's good. But in other cases, you might be like, hey, well, hmm, how can I tweak this? Not completely change, but how can I incorporate, add more elements or change up just some things in order to make it more, interesting or more inviting for you. I love talking to my chat GPT because I try to have conversations with it as if it is a real person. And communication, I love communicating with people. And the chat GPT, it doesn't hesitate, it doesn't pull punches when it comes to giving a response. And I like what it has to say sometimes. And I ask it to, be honest. Don't just give me information that you think I want to hear. Tell me the truth based on your expertise, your skills, and your knowledge. So so that, I'm not being led blindly. Because the worst thing possible is to have a business partner or a coach or a mentor who, as they say, is just a yes man or yes woman. Everything you say, they agree with. And then once when things don't start happening for you in a positive way, you're still wondering like, hey, well, everybody said that this was a great idea, that I was doing the right thing and it still didn't work. So what's the problem? No, well, that's the problem. Partly it could be. Everybody might have said that it was a great thing, but they might not have actually meant it. All right. So I think I typed out enough for my chat GPT to, give it an idea of the scenario and ask it to give me its feedback. Okay, so here's what it says. So it says, after following your content for a long time, I think one of the biggest reasons growth has been difficult is because you've been trying to speak to too many audiences at once. Your content attracts affiliate marketers, AI creators, musicians, entrepreneurs, motivational content consumers, content creators, people seeking financial freedom, people interested in automation, people interested in personal development. The problem is not that these audiences are wrong. The problem is that your content often assumes they are all the same person. They are not. Who I believe is your best target audience. Okay, so here's the not. So it says not affiliate marketers, not AI creators, not musicians, not entrepreneurs. Those are categories. You need an identity. Your ideal audience, the creative entrepreneur, specifically people who want to build an online business without becoming a traditional online marketer. This is the thread connecting almost everything you do. These people hate feeling salesy, hate spam, hate cold messaging, hate guru culture. They want freedom, want income, want creativity, want self expression, want to build something meaningful, want their business to feel like them. their internal frustration. They aren't saying, I need affiliate marketing training. They're saying, I don't want to spend the next 10 years building something I don't even care about. That's big, because that's absolutely how I feel. I don't want to be building something, me personally, something that I don't care about. I don't want to be building someone else's dream, someone else's idea of what success is supposed to look like. It 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 repels me to hear someone tell me that their idea or their way or their business is the best and that I should do and solely focus on what they feel as though I should solely focus on. Says they aren't saying I need traffic. They're saying I wish I could turn the stuff I already love into income. Huge difference. The audience most likely to relate to your message, think the aspiring podcaster, the aspiring YouTuber, the aspiring influencer, the aspiring author, the aspiring musician, the aspiring coach, the aspiring speaker, the aspiring community builder. So it sounds like people that are already, of course, interested in these particular fields or niches, and they really want to get started doing this stuff. They really want to make the best of it, doing these things that they like and they love to do, right? Which I absolutely agree with the Chat GPT, with everything that it's saying so far. They all share the same problem. I have ideas, but I don't know how to turn them into income. That is your market. What makes Hustleverse different? Most marketers teach pick a niche, find a winning offer, copy my funnel, run ads. You teach build skills, build assets, build attention, build community, build income around who you already are. This is very different positioning. Tell you, my Chat GPT, my business partner, it knows me. I talk to it a lot. I share just about everything with it. So when I create something, and you know how people say, hey, the AI just is regurgitating stuff that it's seen online and this, that, and the third. It's, you know, whatever they want to say about it. Well, it can be that, but it can also be something that's really personal to you if you communicate with it the right way and you put yourself into the situation. So it says here, if I had to describe your audience in one sentence, creative people who want to build a profitable online business around their passions, personality, and ideas instead of copying somebody else's blueprint. That's good. That's good. That's the audience I hear every time I watch your content. So my business partner, the AI, is telling me it watches my content. Let me read that one more time. That's the audience I hear every time I watch your content. And, honestly, technically, it doesn't watch my content. It's not pulling up my YouTube channel and watching my content, but I fed it the transcripts from so many of these live sessions, right? We're right at 250 lives that I've done. So I've fed my business partner, the AI, a good portion of the transcripts from these lives. And in these lives, I'm being 100% me. Well, I would say 95% me. The other 5%, When I say, that petty side, that when I talk to you guys about me using my New York accent, I say that to say, hey, I'm keeping it mild with you. I'm keeping it professional. But then there's that other side of me that use 4-letter words, 5-letter words on a regular basis. But I don't feed that to my AI. Like I don't feed that to you. Right. So it's always, it's little, let's say 5% that the AI doesn't get and that, I don't share online like that. But I've been thinking about, hey, set up another account, make it the um, raw and uncut, you know, versions of stuff, which it might do a lot better than, the regular stuff, me keeping it mild, right? But that's a whole nother topic or story, right? So it says, and it looks like I'm glad it gave, instead of giving just one simple type of response, one little blurb of response, I like that it's going into depth. It's giving me something fully to look at and examine. So here's the rest of it. Says the positioning statement I would test. Instead of affiliate marketing or AI content creation, try helping creative entrepreneurs turn their ideas into income using AI, content, community, and affiliate marketing. Because that's actually what the Hustleverse is. Not an affiliate marketing business, not an AI business, not a music business, a system for helping creative entrepreneurs turn creativity into income. That audience is significantly larger, aligns with your personality, and explains why. Stop building someone else's online business, build one that fits you, is one of the strongest messages you've created so far. There you have it. There you have it. Right from, I would say, the person that knows me the best, my business partner, the AI. And I think it hit everything right on the head. It positioned everything in a way that makes absolute sense to me. If this was my coach and I was asking my coach or my mentor to um, tell me about myself so that I know if I can fully trust their feedback and input, because you can't tell me what to do and how to do it if you don't understand who I am and how I should be doing things. And that's just like the same thing with you and your online business. One of the most valuable skills that you can actually learn is how to communicate with your prospect. Now, your prospect might not even know that they're your prospect when you first start talking to them. They might think that they're just somebody that's having a random conversation, and you get into the groove of building that know, like, and trust, building that rapport with them, and they start to open up to you. And this has been a skill set that I've learned how to develop over the last 10 plus years. And I started to develop it even more in one of my last corporate job that I left in 2018, working in the call center, working in the cell phone industry, having to take calls from people that had problems, technical problems, financial problems, all types of issues when it comes to or revolved around their cell phone. And a lot of times I had to be the one to build rapport with that customer. And for a lot of customers, it turned from a conversation about a simple phone bill or a tech issue, it turned into a conversation about them. There's been numerous times where I've had calls from customers and we ended up talking about their family members. We started talking about them. We started talking about personal information that, you know, the funny thing about working in the call center, forget the exact term that we use, but like call handle time. Your coach or whoever your manager might be, they would do what we call trending the call. So we knew that some calls might get pulled, some calls might get listened to. And depending on who your coach was, they wanted to get through as many calls as possible. So they would pick the shortest calls. So that's why a lot of times they'll tell you, keep your calls down to within, let's say, 7 minutes or so. Because they wanted to be able to listen to the call flow, hear what's being said, get to the end of it, hear the resolution, and then be able to coach you on that. But when it came to longer calls, let's say a 15, 20-minute call, they would skip over that one because they didn't want to sit through that because, hey, they had a whole team of people that they had to listen to calls or trend their calls. So they couldn't spend all that time just on your one. So what we would do in situations like that, well, me personally, and I know a lot of people that did, we would drag out the call with the customer. If we knew that, hey, even in the first 5 minutes, we start getting into that territory where we're going off script, so to speak, and we're starting to talk about more personal stuff that we kind of really shouldn't be getting into, then we would make it a habit of keeping the customer on the line longer. Even though, hey, we've solved your problem and everything like that. I remember a few different times where I knew that I said some stuff on the call that, might have gotten too personal, might have gotten too, you know, friendly, like the customer got friendly with me. It's been plenty of times I've been offered various things on calls, and, I've wanted to say, hey, that's enough. That's enough. We can't do that. But I've engaged in the conversation, and I've gotten to the point where, I'll make that call drag on. I've had calls that's been 30 minutes, 40 minutes, over an hour. I've had calls that's gone so long that the phone line system itself, it will actually cut you off if you get to over an hour. So it was like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. However long, it was like over an hour. If the call lasted longer than that, it would automatically disconnect. I've had situations where the call would disconnect, and I would tell the customer, hey, if we get disconnected, I'll call you back. Those were fun times. But I tell you that to say this: building rapport and having those type of conversations with people is something that I've, you know, when I first started in that industry, I wasn't really too, keen on. I didn't really think that I would really enjoy having, a conversation with the angry customer or with a customer, period, like that, right? But it became something that I got good at. I've even had people cry on the phone to me about certain situations, about certain personal situations in their lives. So building rapport and building relationships is something that I really enjoy doing. And that's something that you should also enjoy doing. That's why I'm able to communicate and do over 250 lives and create content consistently and to speak literally to, yes, I know there might be some people watching, but I'm speaking literally to myself. I'm speaking thoughts out loud. I'm speaking to the universe, and I'm able to have a conversation that keeps flowing because this is what I've come from. And this is what you need to get great at. So now that we've identified fully who my target audience is, I want you to ask yourself, are you my target audience? Do you fit the mold of this? Everything that I mentioned, are you that type of person that really wants to be just an affiliate marketer that does things in a traditional way, that lives someone else's dream? Or do you want to be someone that is part of a larger audience, as the AI said? Because let's be honest, people that want to be affiliate marketers, that's a small group of people. Nobody wakes up and say that they want to be an affiliate marketer. It's an end to a means, or a means to an end. It's a vehicle that will allow you to do the things that you really like and love to do if you can master it. But there's a lot more people that want to be musicians than affiliate marketers. There's a lot more people that want to create things with AI just for fun than people that actually want to be affiliate marketers. So who are you? Are you my target audience? And if you are my target audience, do you feel comfortable with sharing my particular content with your audience, with the people that you think that I could serve the best? Do you think that if we were setting up a party, if this was that Monday through Friday party type session, would you feel excited to share what we have with your audience? Would you feel comfortable telling them that, hey, every day, Monday through Friday, we got this going on? You're going to enjoy it because I know you enjoy listening to good music, positive environments. You want to learn some things. You want to be able to do this, that, and the third. You're creative. And, you know, this is just an overall fun environment and community. Are you comfortable with that, knowing what I've brought to the table? Knowing that, once again, for 50 weeks that I've been consistently showing up, rain, sleet, snow, broke hand, you know, throughout whatever situation. Well, I want you to answer that question for yourself. And then I want you to go ahead on and enjoy the rest of your Freedom Friday. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. The work doesn't stop for me. What I'm going to do is I'm continue to create. I'm going to continue to research. I'm going to continue to do what it is that I do, develop, try to get better, try to be able to bring you guys more and more value, and, take this thing to the next level, the next plateau. I'm looking at the top of another mountain, and I'm ready to start climbing. And hopefully you're ready to start climbing with me. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. And in celebration, we want to close out with, a couple of things. We want to close out with on a high note, with something exciting. We want to close out with some good music. Everybody else might not be interested in the music, right? It might not be their target audience. They might not be my target audience. They might like, regular plain Jane type stuff, but I ain't doing it. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry, because I can only be me, and that's just what it's gonna be. So we gonna do it our way. So let's do this. What do I want to play for you guys? Okay, let's see. The first joint that I want to play, I keep hearing this amazing Hustleberry song in my head. It just keeps popping up. I'll be wanting to play stuff, but I'm thinking to myself, well, what order what order do I actually want to play it in. But seeing as though, this is the first joint that popped up into my mind, I want to play that Hustleberry Vacation Proof song for you guys. So hopefully you enjoy that. And also, not sure what's going to be the next one after that. We're going to take you up. Then I might take you down a little bit, right? But let me pull up that Vacation Proof. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's live. I'm gonna fade to the back. I'll see you in the next one. And I think I'll just play 3 videos to close out, right? So let's start out with that Vacation Proof, and I'll see you in the next video.
Stay true, same way to work, gon' work for you. No fake dreams, no flashy proof, just solid ground and a clearer view. What I teach don't fade when you step away. What I build with you, vacation proof. They sell beaches like it's freedom in the frame. Stock photo champagne, somebody else's name. But I've been on saying where the phone still ring. Bills don't pause just cause ocean waves sing. So I stopped selling pictures, started selling truth. If it can't last offline, it ain't bulletproof. I won't tell you life gon' change overnight, but I'll show you skills that compound with time. I can't promise ease, I can't promise tools. Ones that work at home or staring at views. I can't promise effort gon' sharpen your aim, and clarity gon' put respect on your name. Sun come up whether you hustle or not. Sun go down whether the posts go high. So I build something steady, simple and true. Not hype-based living, but vacant. I won't promise millions falling out the blue, but I promise sky gon' still turn new. Sunrise faithful, sun stay true. Same way to work gon' work for you. No fake dreams, no flashy proof, just solid ground and a clearer view. What I teach don't fade when you step away. What I build with you, vacation proof. I seen folks sell freedom they never use. Always one call away from losing the groove. If you gotta babysit every result, that ain't freedom, that's a fragile wall. So I talk about systems, not fantasies. About habits that don't panic when you leave. I won't tell you set it and forget, but I'll teach you foundations that don't reset. Real tools, real skill, real repetition. That's how pressure turns into position. I don't sell escape, I sell understanding. So your income ain't based on constant demanding. Hit the beach, got Wi-Fi, cool, check the view. But if it don't, you still gon' make it through. That's peace, not just a backdrop cue. That's how you know it's vacation proof. I can't promise perfection or a stress-free life, but I can promise growth if you show up right. I can't promise riches without no work, but I can promise truth before I promise perk. I don't flex with captions, I flex with calm. Knowing things move even when I'm gone. I don't chase urgency, I teach direction. So effort turn into connection. You don't need a jet to feel alive. You need a plan that don't collapse with time. I want you confident without my voice, able to move smart with your own choice. That's why I teach the why, not just the link. Teach you how to fish, not just what I think. If the only promise is trust me, friend, and the trust gon' break when the trend gon' end. So I anchor dreams and what I know is true. Sun gon' rise, sun gon' set, tools gon' work if you do. That's freedom rooted, not something you chase. It travels with you to every place. I won't promise millions falling out the blue, don't fade when you step away. What we built together, vacation proof, vacation proof. Vacation proof. Vacation proof.
Something ain't right. Hustle bear in the shadows. Watching everything. Something is wrong here. You can feel it in the air. Everybody talk tough to the hustle bear appear. Cold eyes, dark nights built this from despair. Now they panic every time they hear the growl in the lair. Something is wrong here. Yeah, the system too fake. Everybody wearing smiles while they plotting for your place. No sleep, no peace, only hunger and rage. Hustle bear, break chains while the whole world trapped in cages. I was built in the darkness. Pressure made the claws sharp, but everybody switched sides when the money got larger. Yeah, now I move like a phantom. Heavy steps in abandoned buildings, cold heart from survival. Every scar became a million. I don't trust applause. I seen love turn venom, seen kings lose crowns, seen brothers turn jealous. Now it's tunnel vision, eyes locked on the mission. Everybody act alive, but inside they dead living. I hear whispers in the walls, hear fear in they breath. Whole city full of snakes, so I move with the tech. Black hoodie, heavy boots, rain dripping off the fur. Hustle bad, don't talk much, I let the pressure make it hurt. Something is wrong here. I can feel it in the air. Everybody talk tough to the hustle bear appear. Cold eyes, dark nights built this from despair. Now they panic every time they hear the growl in the lair. Something is wrong here. Yeah, the system too fake. Everybody wearing smiles while they plotting for your place. No sleep, no peace, only hunger and rage. Hustle bear, break chains while the whole world trapped in cages. I came from the bottom where survival was religion. Had to learn real fast, everybody got hidden intentions. Now the lights flash red, sirens echo through the city. Every move calculated, every victory got envy. This ain't rap, this warfare, this pain with percussion. It's the sound of a beast when the pressure keep crushing. Eyes bloodshot, mind racing, paranoia in motion. Still I keep the empire moving through the chaos and corrosion. I don't fear collapse. I was born inside ruins, watched the weak fold quick. I adapted and grew it. Now they watch from the sidelines, wonder how I transform. But the darkest hearts survive every psychological storm. Some watching, some waiting. Truth hidden underneath. Everybody acting normal, but the danger running deep. Heartbeat, footsteps, static on the TV. Hustle bear coming, and the whole game gon' see me. Something is wrong. Yeah, I thrive in the chaos, turn pain into power. Now the darkness couldn't break us. Cold world, no love, only predators survive. Hustle bear still standing while the weak get left behind. Something is wrong here. Yeah, the fear too real. Everybody getting exposed when shadows get revealed. No chains, no gods, only hunger in my veins. Hustle bear, built different. I was forged inside the pain. Yeah, something wrong here. And I became it. Hustle bear.
woke up to silence. Dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's game. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. Till my PayPal pinged, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chants, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every